Okay, guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Wrestle Slam, the podcast brought to you by the Macau Casino, Cork City. Quick delivery and quick taxi. Check out the apps. Quick delivery, quick taxi, and if you want to get somewhere fast, if you want to get a package somewhere fast, quick taxi, quick delivery. They're the apps available on the Google Store to check out. We are joined by the one and only Phil Connolly and the one and only Matt Murphy, and yeah, well, we're kind of celebrating an anniversary, guys.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
weird though because there was four of us back then.
Yeah,
I sometimes still think about the four of us should get a reunion. I'll try and reach out to Jonathan.
yeah,
Yeah.
we have reached out to him. I suppose he's just a busy man.
Well,
He's
well,
so busy.
right now we had a bit of a mishap. He's actually injured, so
As you told me, yeah.
yeah, he had a
Like
bad injury on his foot, so he's out. He's going to be out for a while.
mm,
Mm. We
but
hope you're okay, Johnny.
Yeah,
yeah, Johnny, all our best boy. But like no, it's kind of weird you mentioned about it's like almost 5 years. Feck. Started off with just the three of us having this idea. Johnny was with us,
yeah.
and then it went from the three of us a bit, then we moved on to about like four of us, five of us, and then it was like wider, 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 and now it cuts back to the three of us again.
With
And we're like,
guests here and there. Yeah, we bring on a guest every now and again.
yeah, we
Yeah,
do.
yeah, no, and we like obviously look, we've had special mention to Timmy Cronin, to Jordan Elizabeth Rush, to we've had so many people on with us, throughout the years. We have to give credit. Yeah, it is 5 years. I thought it was six there for a second, but it is five, and it's been non-stop every week. I say like I actually we aired the first episode last week just as a refresher, and you could see the way we started the show. We weren't actually sure what we were going to really do. It was more of an
Yeah.
idea. If you watch that first episode, it's kind of like we're talking about like we'll do it once a month,
Yeah.
maybe once every 2 weeks. We know we do it every week. You know what I mean? So it's pretty good. But yet again, I'm going to stop blabbing about it. But thanks to everyone that has supported Phil, Matt, and myself, and the whole team throughout the years. We appreciate it very much. We are officially Ireland's longest running Irish wrestling podcast, and we're going to
Yeah.
keep going. We're only getting younger, aren't we, lads? We're
You
only
know,
getting younger.
kind of funny. A buddy of mine saw the first episode last week and was like, "What do you think of it?" And he flat out said, "Yeah, you've always been bald." I'm like, "Lad, I had hair. It was just kicking in like a fucking at the time." Like, so I was like, "Yeah,
No.
that's it."
Yeah, 5 years have been a long time, but we've done so much in them 5 years. And yet again, I hope that we have sent a good message for Irish wrestling. Obviously, we promoted all the organizations. We brought you news. You know what I mean? There's been hundreds and thousands that have tuned in throughout the year, so we do appreciate it very much. Um, so let's talk about our truth, guys.
Yeah.
Our truth is the name that is trending. It's
Or Ron Killens, as he's now going by.
Yeah.
all Ron Killings. It's very interesting to see what they are going to do. I'm going to put you both on the spot. Does Ron Killings become a WWE champion?
It's very difficult. I want to
Um,
say yes, but the most important thing for me about this whole situation, do you know anybody who's ever gotten his first massive push in their 50s? Like, this is mad. Like, if you read
Hmm.
about it, like, I know he
Bar,
had,
Bar, Bar Hogan coming back that time, like,
no, but
no.
like for his first ever proper run, like, I know he had that whole thing with Cena, like in 2011, where he turned heel and he had
I
a
can,
few weeks.
yeah,
Hmm.
This
I
is
can
proper
see
run.
it. I honestly I can't see Truth winning the big one, to be honest. But it would be kind of like class to see him like getting like a major title win. Because I know Phil said that he's in his 50s. I think it'd be kind of somewhat inspiring in some way. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter how old you are, if you actually accomplish what you were set out to get, then that'd be a good way to go. Because once the moment that because when Truth was around, a lot of people wouldn't be fans of him and all that kind of way, but they still warm up. The moment he got released, you don't appreciate it till he's gone and he came back because he's been around for so long.
Hmm.
Uh, if you remember, he was on the Chris Van Dyke interview a while back,
Yeah.
and this is back when he was doing the comedy routine. And Chris asked him, "Can you see a version of our Truth being heel?" And he said, "I would love to do a Stone Cold, serious, dark version of our Truth as a heel. He
Yeah.
would love that." And And if when he said it out loud at the time, I wouldn't take it seriously because I just know him as the the mis the misworded communication
Yeah,
truth.
yeah.
But it's still kind of like he can work with it. He's been in the game for so long right now. Like,
Mm.
They tried this in 2010 or 11. Um,
mm,
Capital
punishment, yeah,
yeah, the R-Truth and John Cena, where
yeah,
he didn't have any music or anything like that, and he's just I don't think they're going to go. I think this time is going to be a lot more. He's going to get more chances. I think he had one
yeah.
pay. I think he had one pay-per-view, and he was back facing a couple of weeks back then. Um,
Mm.
but I'm intrigued to see where this is going to go because I love this. Cutting his hair was different. All that I'm all on board. All anything different, I'm all for.
Mm,
Does he face Cena at SummerSlam?
I don't know, but he's fighting him on SmackDown next week, Friday night.
Mm.
So we'll see.
Mm.
I actually, the winner of the King of the Ring is fighting John Cena. I think they announced that.
At SummerSlam, is that?
Yeah, and I reckon it'll be Cody Rhodes.
mm.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. Yeah, our Truth's trending for the right reasons. Obviously, he's come back. Obviously, talks his contract was not renewed or it ended. Obviously, they signed him back up on maybe a 1 year deal or something.
Yeah,
Both parties seem very happy, and yet again, Truth's back with a bang. Um, Interesting to see what will happen in the next couple of weeks and months. But I'm all for the R-Truth bandwagon / Ron Killings. Karrion Kross, and then I have to drop.
yeah.
Have they lost? Is he good? Like he was trending for weeks and weeks. Now it's kind of gone quiet again. What's going on with Karrion?
I have an update on him because I went scooping.
Mm,
So apparently his contract is coming to an end in the next few weeks.
right. Will he
Mm.
sign or will he not?
If I was him, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But again, he now has power to say, lads, use me or I don't want to sign.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Surely,
I remember,
surely he can say, use me or I'm not signing.
Mm,
yeah. So he was because I remember when he was I can't remember was it backstage interviews he was doing, but it was him kind of dropping a bit of a pipe bomb about him being released, about how he wasn't being used, and then he ends it with all the best, Killer Cross. It's kind of obvious for those who don't know when he was back in TNA, that was his independent name,
Yeah.
Killer Cross. I can see him being released, but they're gonna announce that it is true. Karrion Kross is no longer with WWE, been released.
Yeah.
But we let us introduce you to Killer Cross. That he'll come back with the independent name, that spirit and all that. Because like what Phil said, he's saying that if I leave now, there's a chance that AEW, New Japan, TNA is going to quickly knock on my door,
Yeah.
and I'm going to go to that company, and WWE's going to see that, but like, well, shite, we could have used him in this way, in some way, even if he's out for another year, if they put him into the mid card area,
Yeah.
mm,
that could have been in
I
their
just
favor.
don't understand it because the man is one of the best talkers they have and they need that grit.
Hmm.
mm.
Makes no
Yeah. I
sense.
don't know.
Sense.
It's a tricky one. I think they've dropped the ball a small bit. Like he was the number one merch seller a couple of weeks ago. Like, getting incredible pops, doing a few segments backstage, in the ring.
Yeah.
I think he's only had one or two matches, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know.
It's
It's
weird.
frustrating.
Yeah, it is because you see, oh, Mass has gotten a new 4 or 5 year deal. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
When you see things like that and they're not even using him, like
Mm.
surely they must have some plans for him if they just re-signed him though.
But it's just a job for him, maybe, you know what I mean? He's definitely on. What would he be on a year? Quarter of a million?
I if that.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's better than doing, other shit, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting one. It is a very interesting one.
It's been a weird few weeks, like um
It has been away a few weeks, yeah. Belt away, Phil. You got
well,
some
I
news
just
as
want to
well.
say the first thing was Mick Foley got announced for Cork. They
Mm.
announced the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a video that will go up on the Instagram page there. It'll go tomorrow of us talking about Mick Foley coming to Cork.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it's going to be good. It's new venue, City Limits,
yeah,
which is iconic. It's one of the most iconic comedy clubs in the country in Europe. He's coming there, very intimate setting. I actually love City Limits. I'm going to be there. Look, at the end of the day, I'm a massive fan. I like Dude Love Mankind, Cactus Jack, and Mick Foley. Great storyteller. I think that'll be a really good show. And I think it's going to do really well, lads. I really do.
Yeah.
I know Jerry's hosting, but on the spot question, lads. Now talking about McFoley, what do you think is the best McFoley moment you can think of?
Moment or match?
But in general, moment or match.
Royal Rumble 2000, Triple H.
Yeah, great match. Great match. I like the stuff when him and The Rock were going at it. The I Quit match when there was the fake. I quit. I quit.
Yeah. I think for me it has to be, to my mind, probably the most important and one of the best episodes of Raw was when Mick Mankind won the WWE title off of, was it The Rock? Was it? He won
Yeah.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not just because it was a great moment for him, but it was a great moment for Raw, big WWE, because we all know this. WCW Nitro actually spoiled Raw by saying like, so it turns out Mick Foley, oh, we mean Mankind's gonna win the WWE title tonight, and so many people decided to tune in just to watch that moment.
But yeah,
So
it's when he said that'll put butts in seats. I think that's the killer line.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was it. So who was? It wasn't Tony Schiavone who said that, no?
Oh, it was him who said it, but it was fed to him backstage.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just that is like the ultimate way to say don't spoil this or don't spoil that movie because you're gonna get people actually against you with that way. So, but yeah, general one of my favorite WWE moments. So it has to be a Mick Foley moment because he's there as well.
Yeah, no, he's a legend. Great storyteller. Who knows? He might bring the whole family to Cork. You know what I mean? Mick, we'll have to try meet up. We'll go for some steak. You can come for steak with us beforehand. It's on us.
Ask me
But
now.
yeah,
That sounds. If you ask me now, what Jerry said, that sounds like we're gonna have a nice day.
have a nice day. I love it. So, yeah, Foley, hook us up, brother. We're going to make sure it happens when you're in Cork. Um, Obviously, some news as well. Obviously, look, I'm going to mention some kind of headlines, okay, via wrestlinc.com. So, Will Ospreay announced his engagement to fellow All Elite Wrestling star and long-term partner Alex Windsor. She's a lady that we would have met Phil and Matt many, many years ago at OTT. A former All Elite Wrestling crew member is suing the promotion John Moxley over an incident in 2023. Former All Elite Wrestling tag champs reportedly in talks with WWE.
Yeah.
Um,
Private
let me
party.
see that.
It's private
Yeah,
party.
private party. Yeah. We'll get one more headline before we go into the rest of the stuff. Obviously, there is.
There's one there I wanted to ask you as well, just beyond news.
Yeah,
Mr. Iguano, the guy that everyone suddenly loves from the.
yeah,
Apparently, he's got backstage heat because he said, "I'm skipping NXT."
yeah. I heard that too. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know
And
what.
Drew I made that mistake with Drew McIntyre,
Yeah,
saying to Drew McIntyre when he was at NXT, when are you going to move up to the main roster?
yeah.
That was a holy shit moment. He gave me a stare, lads.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
this. I remember this. Yeah, it was kind of like this is the main. I am the main deal.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's that, yeah, there's backstage heat as well. Alberto Del Rio in the headlines as well. I think he was in a triple threat match.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, I think Kingo retains his A title over Alberto Del Rio. Controversial triple threat main event. Um, yeah, interesting that one. Phil, you wanted to mention, obviously, look, we know Goldberg is coming back. Matt,
Tonight, yeah.
yeah, tonight. What's your thoughts on Goldberg returning? And obviously, look, if it looks like he's going to face Hunter.
The worst part for me about this whole thing is poor old Jey Uso being used as bait.
Yeah,
Mm.
Surely they could have had Gunther by Goldberg and not have a world belt.
Yeah.
they could have, yeah.
But apparently
Yeah.
Triple H is the guy who made the call, so it just
Is it just
it caused a lot of problems with Rikishi. Let's just say that.
is it just
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. I was like, yeah, I was gonna mention that about Rikishi, defending his boy, and it was like kind of like a lot of heat that he tossed at through that WWE, like.
is it just something to do with loyalty with Bill Goldberg? Look, obviously, look, I'm not gonna lie. I watched religiously. I watched WCW and all the wrestling back in the 90s and the early 90s. But is it just a loyalty thing with Goldberg that they, you know what I mean, they let him bow out, on his own terms, obviously his hometown and all that.
He's fighting, yeah, Atlanta. It's weird though, it's a Saturday night's main event. Um,
Yeah.
I find that very strange. But again, I'm all for it because I think these guys need to have their bow out moments. They do.
Yeah.
As
He
much,
doesn't he does he
much
doesn't win, does he?
No, I wouldn't think so. I
Mm.
wouldn't. I would. I'd be very surprised if he did. If he did, I'd be shocked, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird one because I think it's on the same day as something else as the AEW. I think it's on this,
Yeah.
but I think the AEW show has been moved to the
Mm.
afternoon
Yeah.
Mm.
to not compete with it, which is good because I think it's good to have a stadium show. I love stadium shows. Um,
Will they ever come together, All Elite and WWE?
Nah, stranger things have happened, but say I'd say you have a better chance of one of them being sold to the other one. But
Mm. Yeah, I was just gonna say, to my mind, I'm gonna have to say no right now. Like
yeah,
Phil said, strange things happen, but you can aware that AEW has take a lot of shots at WWE recently. Like I know they're trying to be making us react like, oh, they took some shots, but
yeah,
we're at that stage like, oh, no, you should not have said that because that type of thing will actually regret it. Like for example. It's Joe Hendry at WrestleMania.
yeah.
Have you ever thought, like, 5 years ago, a couple of years ago, Triple H was going to have a photo taken with the TNA World
I know
Champion?
it's mad, and also a WWE wrestler is the TNA champion at the moment,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
kind of crazy to be honest. It's a great time though.
it
Um,
is. So, I mean, I can't see. Imagine John Moxley winning the AEW World Champion again, and he's gonna have a photo with Triple H. I'm like, nah, nah, or Will Ospreay
yeah,
even.
yeah.
Yeah, that's got a bit mad, isn't it? It really has. Yeah, it's not been the busiest of weeks, for wrestling, but
Yeah.
look, there's obviously a lot coming up.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're fast approaching.
The other thing I wanted to bring up as well, Dave, Mariah May is now in NXT. Um,
She is, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna re-upload the interview, guys, that we done with her as well.
yeah, well,
I must do the edit.
yeah. Apparently, there's a lot of backstage heat about her new name.
Really?
Yeah, apparently it's to do with the adult entertainment
Oh,
business.
yeah, 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 yeah. I've seen
But
that. I've
apparently,
seen
it's
that.
not that because she's did it for her nephew or her niece or something.
But why can't you just keep her name? I don't get it. Like, I know
Yeah.
there's copyright and all this shit, like, but you know what
Ranting.
I mean?
Yeah. Do you know what the weird thing
She's
about all this with her is? She was there that day. All the lads were there. Like Raven and Debbie and all the lads were at that training seminar.
Oh yeah, the seminar. Yeah, yeah, she was.
There's
Yeah,
about 20
yeah,
different women there.
yeah. There was. It was a very interesting one. It's you know what I mean. It's mad how it happens, isn't it? It's mad like the people kind of behind the scenes and how far they go. Do you know what I mean? But we done an interview with her in the lockdown, like, and I think she was only kind of starting out, really.
Yeah, she would have been. Yeah, yeah. I think she
Yeah,
started 2019 is when she started off.
yeah, yeah. She's a lovely girl, though. And I wish her all the best, definitely. There was some matches announced. I just want to mention one match there. Obviously, we know Summer Bash is coming up.
Yeah,
OTT Summer Bash, July 5th.
yeah,
Um, they have Moira G
yeah,
and Harley Hudson facing off against Raven Creed and Kat Van D.
yeah.
That's an interesting match. I think the two girls over and over from TNA it's a big one. I think that's quite interesting, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's
No,
it
I'm
looks like
looking for
it's
it. It's good. It's a different sort of match. It's a
yeah,
new match, and I'm looking forward to it.
yeah, it would be very interesting. But yet again, tickets are on sale for Summer Bash, and it's obviously in Belfast on the 6th of July as well. So try and grab your tickets, universe.com/over the top wrestling. They also have a tour, Limerick, Kerry, and Carlow. So make sure you get your tickets. But July 5th, the KFRC Dublin, the bell is at 7, doors open at 6. And yet again, universe.com. The tickets are on sale there, guys. So do grab them. as soon as possible.
Well,
Right, anything else we have to talk about?
there's two things I wanted to bring up really quickly, just while we're on the topic of OTT. Did you see all this stuff about Joe taking down videos?
I'd say it's all at work, is that?
Has to be, but I like it though. It's cool. It's
You see the
different.
video of him and Callum Black, Matt and Phil. There's a video of him and Callum Black, and there's someone else there in the room, and Joe's got like the cigar and a mouth, like, and it's
Oh
like
yeah.
they're a faction.
I think I saw that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
Joe, Jesus Christ, boy.
He's looking younger and younger every time you see him. The fucker. He's got the. Every time I see Joe, he looks younger than me. Do you know what I mean? But no, it's incredible. It's good to see.
Apparently, the storyline is that he fired Barry at the in the OTC. He's been
Yeah,
fired.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
I
when
wonder.
he comes back, he's going to get the massive pop now.
Yeah.
You will.
He might have one more match at Saudi.
Oh, Joe, I think Joe has to have a match with the storyline.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I'm
I'll
invested.
fucking.
Yeah. I'm invested, definitely. I said it might be a cool t-shirt actually. And which is kind of weird. I don't really buy mainstream wrestling t-shirts anymore, but I would buy like independent shirts. So when I have the Be Cool one, I'm like, yeah, that's definitely an honor there, Barry.
Yeah, no, I think we should try and get up to the show. We should check there just to make sure we're free. But if we are free, I think we should go up to this one. It's a decent venue, too. I like the venue. It's been great events over the
The
years.
other thing that's stuck in my head, the other bit of news that I thought was really cool, actually, the return of Mark Madden, which I absolutely, I think I was brilliant.
Yeah.
Commentator in WCW, I thought he was brilliant. He's character to him, you know, like today it's very sterile and I don't know what it is, but he would just say some random stuff. It was just brilliant.
I'd love to see Jim Ross. I know I'm changing the subject here. I'd love to see Jim Ross go back to WWE. I'd love to see Tony Schiavone cross over to WWE.
Yeah, I think they need to finish off in WWE, especially Jim, because I know he's had the health scares and he's not feeling great.
Yeah, but even Tony's like he should be a Hall of Famer in my opinion. Like,
Oh, 100%. I think it will come though. The only thing is, have you seen that stuff Rick was saying about Jim?
Oh yeah, they're always back and forth to it. Like,
I thought it was a bit much. I thought it was a bit much.
yeah.
I thought so.
I don't think JR's an attention seeker like Rick is on about him being an attention seeker.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on that, Matt?
I would agree with Phil. I was like saying I don't think he's an attention seeker at all, to be fair. Like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's just a little back and forth, like he says, she says, kind of where, and this is like one of those moments you're like, even if you're a fan of both and either, it's kind of good to take a step back and see what the outcome is. But that's kind of my 2 cents.
Yeah. Do you ever try his hot sauce, lads?
I did once, yeah.
Is it nice?
Never did.
It's nice, yeah. Well, it's not really hot sauce, it's like barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
I got it. Where did I get it? I must be when I was in America, it'd be years ago.
Yeah.
I actually had some of the ravioli that Mick Foley had as well.
Yeah, we'll say that too.
RRD, whatever it was called.
When you guys talk about Jim Ross, all I can think of is like when we first went up to Limerick, and it was before Jerry's interview with him, and Jerry got the chance to know him. Me and Phil was there, like setting up the camera, making sure the zooms, all that, and all I heard was him talking about going to Starbucks, and he just says, "There's no ass in the ass coffee," and then the cashier was like, "Yeah, no, it's on the bottom," and I was like, "That's fucking bullshit," and I was there, setting up the zoom, and Phil was like. Even though we're supposed to be laser focused on setting up the film equipment. So I was like, Jim can say it the way he wants it.
Yeah, no, it's sometimes you don't realize, like,
Yeah.
like some of the stuff that we've done over the years, we have to be really grateful for it, don't we? Because they're special moments, you know what I mean? They really are. And you don't dwell in their moments, like, you know what I mean? I forgot about that part that you just said there, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, like we were in a room with Jim Ross, one of our icons, like they're special moments. We're lucky, very lucky. But what was I going to say? We will be back next week. We've got about a minute left, guys. So we'll be back next week.
We'll reach out for a guest and we'll try and see
Definitely.
who's around.
Yeah, no, definitely. We'll get someone and we'll try and get we'll get Let's Talk RCW or Irish Talk Wrestling or someone on. But yet again, we thank you for tuning our way. We'd happily talk for another half an hour, lads. We would. But we've got some special stuff coming up, guys, because look, we are within that 5th year anniversary. We'll do something. We've got a few things coming up on the Instagram page as well. Keep an eye. Fire questions where Phil and myself are still on the way. Matt's one was a big success. But yet again, we thank you for tuning our way, guys. From myself, Jerry, from the one and only Phil Connolly, and from the one and only Matt Murphy. We thank you for tuning our way. We will catch you all next week for a brand new episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is brought to you by the Macau Casino, Cork City. Quick taxi and quick delivery. Go on the Google store, check out the apps. Quick taxi and quick delivery. QWIK. That's the way we spell quick. We'll see you soon, guys. Thank you for tuning our way. This is Wrestle Slam, the podcast. Adios.
Thanks, guys. All the best.